All right, it's time now to talk about our bunch drop passing game. So now, for the first time in this course so far, we're not talking about running motion both sides and running the flank both sides and plays off of that and play action. And we're talking about snapping the football, catching it and go. So what did we like in our drop passing game? So the first thing we start out with is teaching Y cross. Don't want to act like I invented this. Don't want to act like I'm the best at this. Just telling you what we did. So if we got this look, you know, a lot of times we get some kind of roll down look or we get two safeties deep or whatever. Whatever look we got, if we call cross, we're going to get a go by number one, outside go, run down the numbers. The ball's got to go on or outside the numbers. These guys run outs, so if they were in their wing position, they're going to run arrows, both running backs. The Y's run their Y cross, under Sam, over Mike, across the field. The Z's running vertical, but then he's going to gear it down. So remember, we ran a lot of verticals with him, play action, and when we run verticals and all that. So this will complement that. He goes vertical, gears down, and runs more like a dig. What that does is put you in a bind there. So the quarterback's read, and the line's doing the 5-0 protection, the same thing that we saw in the last lesson if you saw the pass pro there. The line's going to take care of the people in the box. If they come down, they'll check off, and these guys will be hot. So here, they're probably protecting there. He's protecting here. That guy's hot. Over here, if he's further out, he's got him, and he could help if need be. And out here, he's hot. Now, the quarterback's job is to start with the outside receiver on the weak side. So in this case, he'd be looking left. We can all run all these formations both ways. Catch the ball, look to the outside go, look to that flat area. If it's there, throw the out. So you just kind of peeking that go. Most time you're looking, catching, take your drop. You're going to take a 3-step drop in the gun, catch, drop, 1, 2, 3, look into that out. If it's there, put it on. And in the bunch set, you know, a lot of times if this is the right hash, and so there's a bunch of field over here, man, what a great play. What a great play. Because a lot of times these guys are up on the line cheating for the sweep. You just outrun them, and you just throw it out there and run. I mean, it's a great play. Now, if this guy chases so well or something's happening, the safety rolled down and covered so well, now you're going to go peek, drop while you're dropping, hit your drop. It's covered here, cross, dig. So out, cross, dig. Quarterback would take his drop, look to the out, third step, put it on. Take his drop, look that's not there, look to the cross, put it on. Look to the cross not there, look for the dig behind it. If you get to there, you better get the ball out. Where's the hots? Where's the check downs? The outs. If you ever got in a real jam, you could throw a fade with the outside guy. This can turn into a fade. We could put it up, give him a chance like we did on our vertical game, if you understand that. Now, could we run that in other formations? Sure. But I mainly liked that look. Some of these others I like in the other looks. One of those is mesh. So if we were running our mesh series, on mesh, the guys on the line are going to mesh 6 yards over the ball. They're going to try to slap hands if at all possible. Usually they can't, but we at least did it in practice. And here, the Z is going to run a corner. Stem that route, stick it, get to the corner because he's in tight. These guys are going to run the arrows, same as cross. We got the same protection. If they got guys here and here, they'll kick out, he'll be hot. If they don't, then those two will do those two and he'll be hot. So over here, a lot of times the backer's out there. Got a backer in there, a D in here. He'll block on, that guy'd be hot. He walked up on the line, then they kick out, now he's hot. The quarterback's got to know who the hot is, know where to go on the hot. Now, if this play develops, it's very difficult to stop. But defense has gotten better at it. But the quarterback's progression on this side now is to look to this side first. Whereas with Cross, he was looking to the 2-man receiver side first. Now he's looking to the 3-man first. So he takes a drop, looking for the corner. Corner, play side mesh, play side back. So we're really trying to clear here underneath of this guy. The X is always going to come under. He's going to be underneath the Y who's coming over the top trying to clear for him, and he's usually open. When these guys mesh, they can keep running if there's grass. If there's a defender in their area, they gear down. Again, I'm sure there are a million of these courses that can teach you cross and mesh better than I can. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence and not trying to say I know it better than any of them. This is just how we did it out of the same formations that I did teach you the buck sweep and the jet sweep and the plays off of that and power read and verticals and all that. So anyway, that's how we ran our mesh. Now what I liked about the mesh was we would sometimes run it out of our quad look. So now we take this wing and move him out here. And when we did that, we would make a call to change these routes. So now he would run a post to kind of occupy that general same area. But the Z would now run and sit over the ball. So you get a mesh, and it would clear for him. But pre-snap, our first read was that running back. Because, in high school ball, a lot of times one of our running backs is one of our better receivers too. So we could do this to either side, obviously. So say the left was our better running back. We get in this set. They put their corner out here. Now their corner's not able to help with the mesh coverage. They got their corner out. If that corner can't cover that running back on the post, we're just going to run him down the field, stick it, run the post, throw it up, baby. If you'd like that, that's the look. If you don't like it, look to it, let the play side mesh clear, and then you can come back to that guy over the ball or to the back still in the flat. A lot of people in the air raid stuff, that'd be like a mesh pyramid, I think is what they call that. But yeah, I like the post part of it. I mean, a lot of times we put the running back out there to try to beat the corner on the post, or at least because the corner was a problem on the regular mesh. Now this corner is occupied, which means this is a problem. This play side mesh and this back out here and the flat player, that's a problem. So that was a good play for us out of mesh. I like doing it out of that quads look. Now, what about the spacing routes? The third thing we would do is run our spacing routes. And I had really two ways to run those depending on what hash we were on. So first we had cross, then mesh, now space. So we have scat and space is how we call those, but it depended on where the ball was. So if this is the field, let's draw up a field here. And here's the hash. The ball was on this hash. Then we were going to run what we call our scat package, which is the Y on the corner. This guy's hunting grass, scat, like a lot of people do, and he's running the arrow like he's been doing on a lot of these plays. Back here, we'd run a 5 out. He would help with pass pro. So now pass pro was a problem. On this series, I could get an extra blocker. So now we had this same thing's been a problem, and they're bringing this guy. Now he can help block him, block him, block him. We don't have a hot over there. That can be helpful. Also, because of where the grass is, this 5 out is a really short throw. So what is the quarterback's read on these spacing routes? Well, he pre-snap needs to determine if he likes the premium throw, the one receiver side throw. Even though I know there's 2 receivers over here counting him, we know this guy's blocking. He's going to run a 5 out. Can I make that throw, yes or no? If you think yes, then you're going to look out there and catch the ball, kind of drops one step, put it on. If something weird happens, you don't want to just throw it anyway, regroup, and come to the other side. If you know you can't throw it out there, let's say the corner's really good, the corner's on him, this outside backer's out here, whatever the reasoning is, you just can't, that's not going to work. Then you will start looking to the other side. So you pick the side pre-snap. Now you're going to go to the wide side of the field. You're going to catch the ball, look to the wide side, take a full drop, and now you're looking to the corner to settling down here, and here's hot. So you're kind of going 1, 2, 3. You're looking to the chute, but looking deep, check down to the scat who's got to find grass and get open, and the snag route. That's a really good play on that hash. Now, what if the ball moves over to the other hash? I'm going to draw on top of it just to show. If the ball was up here, now we got the bunch into the boundary. I'm going to leave it like that. And now I'm going to run this guy on a slant. Still going to pass pro here. Leave him in the pass pro. And instead of the arrow, instead of the corner, because there's nowhere to go, he's going to sit over the ball. He's going to run his same route, but the Y is going to come sit over the ball to clear. We still got arrow. So only the Y's route changed. And of course, his route changed because of the grass. Because of the grass, that had to change. So I would I'd make a different call. I didn't make the kids figure it out. But we were going to run it this way when we were running the bunch into the boundary, and this way when the bunch was to the field. In both cases, the quarterback reads the same, which is pre-snap, cannot throw it out here to the one receiver. So if he gets out here and the outside backer's bearing down right here for buck sweep, the corner's out here about 7, 8 yards off, the safety's out in here in the middle of the field, we got to throw that. We got to throw that. We got to catch that and make some yards. If somehow we can't, something weird happens, whatever, this guy's out here, the safety stays more over here, then we're going to take a deep drop, read this complex right here, one of these two open, and there's the hot. Love those plays. Now, will those plays work out of the quads look? Yes, they will. Let me show you how we did those. So let's say we're doing our spacing route. We're in the middle of the field. We're in the middle of the field. We got a little grass here. But we take the L and move him over here like that quads look. Now, we still got a slant here. Maybe this backer's backed up and gotten in the way a little more. Maybe he hasn't. I don't know. But we got the slant there if we like it. See, now this corner, it's a way bigger problem. This corner's got to go out here and cover, which means it changes how they got to play that bunch cover. So now they still run the space. He sits over the ball. He finds home in here. He runs the chute. We would just run him off if he was out there. But by running him off, now the corner's gone. And a guy that probably was coming down on the arrow occasionally is not there. So this guy's got to run there. The safety's got to come down hard, which they can't hardly know that's what that play is. So it creates a situation where you can all but guarantee that this guy's going to be open. If he's not, then the backer just banged with him and hung in there, and there's nobody in the flats. That's a great play. Just put the quads over there and make them react to it. If for somehow they roll the coverage, or roll this guy down to play the corner spot, roll him to the middle, now you should have a better look in here. You should. If they somehow double him, now you're going to have to find a way to hit the home run or wherever. You got to run the ball better. Remember, we got to run the ball out of these formations too to make them do that. But those are good looks. Quads look. The last thing we would do in our drop pass kind of bunch is run the sprint out. Sprint out was a great look for us in bunch. So what can you do in sprint out? Well, sprint out offers you some good complements to some of these protection problems. So if you've been watching this and you're like, well, that's great and all, but what about we see something different and we're going to get sacked every play if we don't bam, bam, bam. Well, you may be right. I don't know. But here's what we saw and what we did. Because we were a little more susceptible to an inside pressure, because we didn't have our backs in. We ran the ball a lot, and that fixed a lot of it. But we had to be good at sprint to pass the ball too. So Then if they brought the inside pressure, we had people. So if we were on the left hash and the field's way out there, we could always run something like where we sprinted out and he helped protect. Now we got a drag, post, corner, snag, or we could run shoot route with him, try to really stretch him and then run him behind it. Or we could run him in here, try to get him out there and have him behind it. Either of those were good. Anything like that was pretty good. And you had an extra blocker right here to help with any of the problems. You sprint out. So if they brought inside pressure, we're sprinting out, not a problem. How we pass pro it, on the inside, everybody reach, hinge back, reach. And then if they had nobody, they protected back. Really easy looks. If you've got a 2-man sprint out game you like better than this, run that. The routes weren't the magic on this. It was the ability to be decent at sprinting out, being able to attack without going in motion. So nobody went in motion. We snapped the ball and ran this way. You know, I put a lot of stock in the one receiver sprint out too. So I would get in a set where, you know, if we were in the middle of the field or maybe on the right hash this way, I might sprint this way, you know, and you sprint it and run these guys on the comeback, put it on him, and have these guys where he protects and they run the drag post. And if for some reason that's tied up, now we're just resetting and throwing us a home run ball there. Sprint out was really good. I think if you're not a dominant drop pass team, like an air raid type team, then, you know, sprint out's your friend more so, because it gives you a chance to be pretty decent without a lot of the time you have to put into it. But you need a sprint package both ways if at all possible. Now you're really making the defense pay on this. So the last thing we're going to talk about, and I guess the last lesson, for lack of a better word, is not even a lesson, more of a recap, but just talking about trying to hit all the different areas and what plays you can run and recap everything we've done in this course. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you could pick up an idea or two from this and help your team be better this year.